If your baby is waking up in the middle of the night like, "Good morning, everyone," and then staying up for 1 to 3 hours, that is not a personality trait. That is a sleep schedule message, and it's the rudest kind. Hi, I'm Treasure, and I help exhausted, overwhelmed parents make baby sleep make sense with calm, clear plans that actually fit real life. And if split nights have you staring at the ceiling thinking, "Is this just my life now?" I've got you. Let's start with what's really driving this. A split night usually means your baby's body clock and sleep pressure are out of sync. They are not refusing sleep. They are not plotting. Their system is basically saying, "I have enough energy to be awake right now." Here's the myth that keeps parents stuck. People hear baby was awake for 2 hours and they assume the fix is more tired, so they push bedtime later, skip naps, or stretch the day like taffy. And sometimes that turns split nights into hourly wakes, false starts, and a baby who is somehow exhausted and still yelling, "No thank you," to sleep. There are a few common patterns that create this exact problem. One big one is undertired. That can look like too much total daytime sleep, wake windows that are a little too short, or a last nap that ends too close to bedtime. When sleep pressure is low, your baby can pop fully awake between sleep cycles and stay there. Another big pattern is the last nap timing. If that last nap runs late or it goes long, bedtime becomes more like a second nap attempt. So they fall asleep, but then their body treats the middle of the night like a normal wake period. It's frustrating because the beginning of the night can look fine and then the party starts. A third pattern is a mismatched bedtime. Sometimes bedtime is too early for that particular day, especially after a chunky late nap. Other times bedtime is too late, and now overtired stress hormones are keeping them alert at the wrong time. Split nights can happen in either direction, which is why random guesswork feels like a trap. And there's one more pattern that matters, especially for working parents. Daycare naps. If your baby takes a surprise late nap at daycare, or they barely nap and then crash in the car, you can end up with a night that looks like a jigsaw puzzle somebody shook up. You did not fail. The schedule just got scrambled. Now, let's talk about what helps, starting tonight. The goal is not to convince your baby to sleep during the split night. The goal is to reset the overall pattern so split nights stop happening. And while you're doing that, you want the middle of the night awake time to stay as boring as humanly possible. So here's the fewest moves plan that creates momentum. Start by picking a consistent morning wake time you can actually live with most days. That wake time becomes your anchor even after a rough night. Because if morning floats later and later, the whole clock shifts, and split nights love that. Next, get bright light and a little movement in the first hour of the day. This is one of the fastest ways to help the body clock learn daytime is for being awake. It sounds almost too simple, but it's powerful, especially when nights are messy. Now zoom in on the last nap. If split nights are happening, the last nap is usually the lever. You either need it to end earlier or be shorter, or sometimes both. If your baby is older and on 2 naps, this can be as simple as protecting that last wake window before bed, so bedtime has real sleep pressure behind it. If you're dealing with daycare, you may not control the nap. So you control what you can. You can cap any after daycare cat nap so it does not steal bedtime. You can also adjust bedtime to match the day you actually got, not the day you wish you got. That is not inconsistency, that is strategy. Here's what I want you to stop doing during the split night itself. Stop turning on lights, offering play, scrolling with the screen glowing like a tiny sun, or having a full conversation about life choices at 2 in the morning. I say that with love, because I know it happens, desperate times. During a split night, think calm and boring. Low light, minimal talking, no new fun habits. Comfort is allowed, of course. You are not a robot, but you want your baby to feel nothing interesting is happening right now. And by the way, if you want all of this laid out clearly, grab my free guide, The Modern Parent's Sleep Roadmap. The link is in the video description and on the screen. It's the guide I wish I could hand you at 2 a.m. when your brain is doing that spiral math. Now, let's tackle the question every parent asks in the middle of a split night. Do I feed them or not? That depends on age, growth, and your pediatrician's guidance, but here's the calmer way to think about it. If you suspect true hunger, you can feed in a low stimulation way and then go right back to boring nighttime mode. What you want to avoid is accidentally turning the split night into a full wake routine. If your baby learns when I'm awake for 2 hours, we hang out, eat snacks, and redecorate the nursery, they will absolutely request that again. Not because they are manipulative, but because they are smart and consistent learners. Let me give you a quick reality check that will lower your stress right now. One split night can be a fluke. Travel, illness, a weird nap day, a big developmental leap, or even a new skill can cause a random, middle of the night, wide awake moment. It becomes a problem when it repeats, and your body starts bracing for it every night. So if this is happening multiple nights a week, focus on consistency for 3 to 5 days. Anchor the morning, clean up the last nap, protect a bedtime that has enough wake time before it, keep nights boring. Then reassess instead of changing 10 things every night. Here's where neurodivergent and sensory sensitive babies can look a little different. Some babies have a harder time downshifting, and the split night becomes a full body regulation moment, not just not tired. In those cases, the environment and wind down rhythm matter even more. You're still using the same big levers, you're just making the calming cues stronger and the stimulation lower. Now I want to tell you something that might be the most relieving part of this whole video. Split nights are one of the clearest signals in baby sleep. They are annoying, yes, but they are not mysterious. Most of the time they are timing, and timing is fixable. If you want me to tailor this to your baby, your schedule, and your daycare reality, this is exactly what I do in consults. I have a master's in social work, I'm a certified pediatric sleep consultant, and I'm the founder and CEO of Rested and Renewed Pediatric Sleep Consulting. And yes, I'm also a toddler mom, so I fully respect that you still have to function at work tomorrow. You can book a consultation when you're ready, and if you're not ready yet, start with my free sleep roadmap and use it to calm the chaos fast. Now let's close the loop with the biggest mistake I see parents make with split nights. They fixate on the middle of the night and ignore the day that created it. So they spend 2 hours trying to get a baby to sleep when the real fix is shifting the schedule that made awake time land at 2 a.m. When you fix the pattern, the split night fades. And here's when I would stop guessing and get medical input. If your baby seems in pain, has frequent vomiting, severe reflux symptoms, persistent coughing, loud snoring, breathing pauses, recurrent ear infections, or you're seeing a sudden major shift in sleep plus feeding or weight concerns, call your pediatrician. Also, if you feel unsafe from exhaustion or you're at the edge emotionally, that is a real red flag too, and you deserve support immediately. If this made you feel even a tiny bit more confident tonight, the next video is where the entire picture gets clearer, and you'll finally know which small tweak matters most for your baby instead of trying everything at once. Tap the screen to watch my next video.
Before you go, download Treasure's free guide, hit subscribe, and watch the next one. You'll be so glad you did.